Let's let's just see where this goes, shall we? Here, let me turn this up. Oh, that's better. I'm running on batteries in here back in my orifice. It's 03:12 in the morning here on Monday, December 28th, 2015. And I woke up at 1:30 and I can't get back to sleep. But I'd had about 6 hours of sleep, so you better put the dogs and the kids away on this one, guys, because this is not appropriate for anybody under the age of 18, and it may actually not be appropriate for anybody much under the age of 30 or 40. I just had a can of herring out standing over the sink in the kitchen in the dark. And I love herring. I don't know why I just don't live on those all the time. Ah, I love that stuff. I really do. Well, the flat out fact of the matter is I'm just lonely and horny. I mean, 63-year-old guys, well, 64 in 2 weeks by the grace of God. Well, less than 2 weeks now. Just want to get laid. Toward that end, occasionally I go on Craigslist. In May and June of 2014, that panned out spectacularly well. And then a little later that year, too, briefly. And then, as it turned out here just the other day, some guy whose ad I'd answered, I guess, back in May of this year, emailed me, just out of the blue. So we've been going back and forth. Just, his schedule doesn't coincide with mine, and this and that and the other. And I don't know. He either lives in Delaware or he lives up in Sunbury, Ohio. I know where he goes to high school. I mean, I have found out some stuff about this guy. I even found pictures of him. He's a nice looking guy, and he's out. He's over 18. He's very legal. In fact, I've asked him that. Now, of course, he could be lying, but homie don't want to go to prison over having some fun. Uh, um, I don't know. I mean, things might still work out. But what really got me fired up earlier today? Well, on Sunday morning. Earlier today, hell, it's Monday now. Is uh, the guy who read in church this morning at the 8 o'clock services is actually in this guy's high school senior class. I mean, both these guys are seniors in high school, and and I thought it'd be fun to ask this guy who lay read this fella if he knew. But I didn't go down that road. Much as I love to stir the shit, I didn't go down that road. And but what this guy did is under his alb, he was just wearing a pair of shorts, and not all that long a pair of shorts either. And, the flaps would fall open, and You're sitting down in the congregation, you can look up there. This 18-year-old fellow, well, he's got to be, well, he's 18. I know he is because he's said as much. Because I remember when his birthday was here back last September, and you know, he's got these great hairy legs. I mean, and I thought, boy, what I wouldn't give to be able to burr up in there. Kind of takes your mind off what you're supposed to be thinking of in church. Well, I don't know. Well, yes, in that sense it does. Not in the sense of caring for fellow human beings, but you have fun and care for human beings at the same time. Uh, I don't know. I mean, so I even got kind of horned up today to the point that I took some naked pictures and stuck them up on Tumblr. You can find me on Tumblr. You're welcome to look at them. Now next week, I don't know if I'm going to read in church next week or not. I mean, it's first of the month. I often do, but they don't put the schedule out anymore until it's like mystery. It's like mystery theater up there at the church nowadays. And I'll prepare anyway, just in case I have to. But we have Michael Jupin, who was our supply priest during the summer, and who everybody really liked. Excuse me. We'll be back to do a guest shot, and I'll be glad. I certainly hope. I certainly hope I get to read because I really want to. Well, I'll hear him in any case, but I really like this guy. I got thinking about why I like him as opposed to this Highland fellow because they're pretty much the same age, and I don't know, maybe somewhat the same background in a way. Well, no, not really, but educational background anyway. And I realized it was just this Highland. Highland talks down to us. I mean, he talks down to us. Not quite verging on the patronizing, although he has done that too. Whereas Jupin just talks to us like people that have been through the fire, and we've all had our struggles and come through them and are working through them and dealing with them, and God is helping us through them. And this, Highland guy, very much, very, very appropriate for his name, just talks down to us. First of all, don't talk down to anybody, but don't talk down to a room full of people with graduate degrees. Just don't do that. Now, it was hardly a room full of people at the 8 o'clock service yesterday because it was, you had 8 people in the nave and 4 people in the play. We had 12 people. The guys driving him away in droves. I can see why. Oh yes, he's the perfect interim. Well, at least he believes. Our last interim believed. Becky was really good. Becky actually increased attendance. I've gotten away from nice hairy thighs that lead up to nice waiting hairy taints that want to be munched on. Which is why I couldn't get back to sleep, because that's what I was thinking about. I ran into a comment. Actually, it was a comment on a comment I left on one of Dan Fry's videos. almost in May of 2014. It's sort of when it started. I like, I guess Dan had used the one of my favorite gestures in one of his videos slash movies, and that's always been one of my favorites. It just drives my daughter-in-law up the wall when I do that. It drives pretty much any woman up the wall when guys do this. And I love Kelly dearly. You couldn't ask for a better daughter-in-law. You couldn't, I mean, you really couldn't ask for a better daughter-in-law than Kelly. God bless her. But I'd said to Dan, I said, "Oh, that's one of my favorite gestures." And then he apparently that rang a bell with him because he commented back, says, "Oh, we ought to do something, and yeah, we could maybe work together." And we did, we did. And I sent him my what became my series of August autobiographies, but I videoed them in early May of 2014, and just before my very wonderful little fling with the university gymnast. And uh, and that became his movie Gay and Gray, Grey, Gay and Gray, and that's Dan Fry. Dan Fry put that out, and you ought to look at it. It's got a few minutes of me and Paul in it. It's fun. It's great fun. I mean, you really look at that. Uh, but anyway, it's interesting how things come marching back every now and again unexpectedly to the office, YouTube, and just I guess any of this social media stuff. So uh, Paul's still in bed. I don't know if he's asleep or not. This house is moderately soundproof in terms of, so it's hard to hear anything that goes on, and you know, particularly up here in the north end of the house. I guess we got some sleet coming in. Oh, that'll be fun. I haven't checked the water in the basement. It was coming in this morning after church. I haven't looked at it pretty much, too often. So I haven't looked at it this morning, really. Well, oh, uh, Tony Pincham and I Skyped yesterday afternoon, which was always great fun. Always great fun on Sunday afternoon with Tony. And uh, yeah. So Paul works tomorrow, Monday, meaning today. Excuse me. And then, ooh, herring. I love that. And then he's off Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe I'll see my son sometime this week. Maybe not. I assume I will, but I may not. I assume I do. I hope so, obviously. And my grandson, well, Kelly too, for that matter. But I think she's working. She's probably gonna be working. So, uh, and they do the big holiday thrash through. So I mean, I imagine they're pretty much exhausted from all that stuff right now. So yeah, they do the big deal, the big hoo ha, the full hoo ha, so to speak. Uh, some days you just want to get laid and drink. I have a feeling this is going to be one of them. Tonight's one of them, anyway. So, on that note, I better just cut this off. So, I'm going to say bye bye, YouTubers.